Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama in the paddy wagon. And guess what? My doggy's back.
Yes, she's back.
Hairing everything.
Yeah.
Every corner of this place is
covered in hair again. Yay.
That took her like 12 minutes.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about tonight, but tonight I am going to be talking about some weird science that happened to us on my last outing and some of the stuff we discovered on the tapes afterwards. So I want to get right into this. So let's go. All right. Hello, folks. We see you got the average group in here, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Peanut gallery.
The peanut gallery is here. Okay.
So hello to Dale and Jim and Ben and Scott and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And
you guys can figure out which Scott it was.
Yes, and Raptor and Melissa.
So hi everybody. Welcome. So what we're going to talk about tonight is some
weird science
stuff that happened to us over this weekend.
No, it was a few weekends ago now.
Hey, hi Don. Yeah.
Hey Janice. Man, my hair looks terrible.
So,
and Donna.
So some of this stuff here is interesting to me. I had never had this particular stuff happen to me. But now that I have
a Jesus moment.
I did have a come to Jesus moment. But I tell you what, I've had some
he's had a few of those recently.
Oh,
we're gonna be going back to church here if he doesn't knock it off.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
Yeah, so we got some new stuff coming. Oh, weird. So so let me get into this. But first, before we get into any of this stuff, we want to tell everybody that this week Peter Byrne passed away. I think it was 91.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I tell you what, talk about a trailblazer.
In the Bigfoot community.
Not just in the Bigfoot community. This guy lived large all over the place. He was just intrepid.
Yeah.
You talk about boldly going where no one has gone before. That was his whole life. You know, let's just explore and go further and push the boundaries and push, you know. So, so I actually, you know, we could dedicate this show to the memory of Peter Byrne.
Oh, absolutely. Not a problem. Why is what happened to my mouse? Oh.
Scott just got distracted by a mouse.
No,
not in our camper.
I can't.
You can keep going because you have a crappy mouse that is hyper active.
No, I'm not showing up over here.
Or is your way over there now?
That is weird.
It's been weird.
So,
okay, anyway.
So if you don't know who Peter Byrne is, he is one of the original four horsemen
of the Bigfoot apocalypse.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot-apocalypse, the Sasquatch-apocalypse.
Whatever. So the four horsemen were, of course, Rene DeHinden, John Green, Grover Krantz, and Peter Byrne. Now, I want to give a shout out to my good friend who actually kind of took this a little hard. We talked on the phone this week. Todd Neese, who's been on the show.
Who will be with us next weekend.
Yeah, he'll be with us next weekend. He had spent a lot of time in the woods with Mr. Byrne, and they were really good friends. And he was kind of like a disciple of Peter Byrne.
He was to Peter Byrne what Jeff Meldrum was to Grover Krantz.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So Jeff Meldrum has carried on the research and legacy of Grover Krantz in the Bigfoot community. Todd Neese is carrying on the legacy of Peter Byrne.
Yeah, and so just for fun, just to let you know, that hat that Peter Burns wore through his whole thing, where he's been all over the world looking for Bigfoot, and he's got that logo of his research group, and that was on the back of his Jeep, on the back of his van, was this big plastic plaque that was on there. Todd has those, and when we were over at Todd's house a while back, we got to I got to hold the plaque and put on Peter's hat, so it's kind of interesting. It was a lot of fun. Kind of such a you wore Peter's hat. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so let's get into what happened to me. How's that? Oh my gosh.
Well, we've got some RIPs.
Yeah.
Donald Fuller mentioned Robert Morgan.
Okay.
Janice said it was ironic that she just read his book, Bigfoot, Monster, Myth, or Man.
Yeah.
So
we just recently got back from a trip up at a place called Wendigo Pass. Go figure. This is, for all intents and purposes, somewhere near Crater Lake or up in that direction of Crater Lake in the Cascades. So, to be honest with you, I've spent a lot of time in the woods looking for Bigfoot. We've had some weird stuff happen to us, but the weird stuff was always stuff being thrown at us. Whoops and hollers and tree knocks and all that normal Bigfoot stuff that we found up and around everywhere. So, but this one is a little bit different. I can say I do have a witness in the chat. Scott Goebel was with me for this time. Oh, hi, Galen. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back.
If you're wondering why he's so
blathering,
let me tell you what we've been doing since we've been back in Baker. Mostly, we've been fetching our dog and discovering how many repairs our truck needs. And so he's been under the truck for several days.
Yeah.
And he's pretty tired. I'm making excuses for you, dog.
Yeah, no, I'm having
emotional damage.
That's him right now.
It's not. Okay. So anyway, what happened up at Wendigo Pass was different. In other Bigfoot encounters I've had, one, I mean, we've had the forest go quiet before, but the forest was quiet for 3 days on us. I meant quiet. I mean, I've never had quiet like this. I've had quiet where, yeah, it's quiet for a little bit, and then it comes back or whatever. You can sit down and you start listening. You start hearing things that you weren't hearing before. You know, crickets, squirrels, chatter, and that stuff. But this time, there was 2 full days for sure. There was nothing. Literally nothing. No birds chirping, no squirrels, nada. So that was one of the things that was really weird to me about this trip. And another thing is, this is going to drive me nuts with this mouse thing.
It's because you got to you're not. Are you using your regular mouse?
Yeah, but the deal is,
why is it plugged in?
It's working. No, see, it's working, but it disappears when I go on this screen. See what I mean?
I got nothing for you.
I got nothing. I can't switch slides. Oh, there we go. But I got the laser pointer, but I can't see the mouse to change
you're going.
slides.
There you go.
I can do it that way.
We're having technical issues.
Technical issues. So when we go out, I've been trying this new thing, and Apparently, it doesn't work like I think it is. I have to do some more testing with it. But what we do is we put up a trail camera. My trail camera is right here. We cover up the night vision or the IR light so it's not emitting light. But then I hang one of those LED motion sensor lights underneath it that, you know, charges itself from the sun. So when something walks in front of it, it turns this light on. So the camera does have light. So it's basically taking a daytime picture at night. At least that's what I thought. So we were hanging out, and what we do is we set these out around the campground looking back at our campground. This is probably, I'd say, 50 yards into the woods from our campground. Maybe a little bit further, facing back, looking back at our campground. And so when the lights go off, I can see them, and they're facing back at us. So that means there's something between the camera and us. So what had happened was, weirdly enough, we were having a discussion about how some people think Bigfoots are demons. And
Are you stealing Friday's thunder?
no, we're not. Not even close. So here's kind of what happened, and I hope I can trigger this.
Well, none of these things are demons running around the woods. Oh, and it's like why she thinks that, I have no idea. You know, I don't believe it. I just do not believe it. I don't believe it for 1 minute. If they were demonic, there'd be a lot of you know, it would be their defense. It would be well, it would be more real, you know, and it's not, you know, it's not emotional.
So it was weird how our motion light kicked on when we were talking about demons. That's kind
But
of
what made the motion light kick on?
something moved in front of it. Something had to have moved in front of it, because the only thing that triggers it is motion.
So the motion light went on. What did the camera get?
The camera got nothing. The camera did not go off, which was weird, because when I was walking toward it during the day, you know how the camera always takes a picture of you walking or setting the camera up and then walking away, or you walking up to the camera. It got all those pictures of me walking towards it. Well, video, actually, I set on video. But the night vision did not go off. So I'm wondering if it's the camera has to have the infrared on to trigger at night. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do a little test to see if that's the problem. But yeah, Scott just put in chat that light went off twice, not just once. It went off twice while we were looking at it. And somebody said it could have been a breeze, and that's what I thought. I thought it was maybe because a lot of times bats fly around at night, and we did have some bat activity that I saw at night. But that's what I originally thought. It was that set it off. And you know, and then the bat would have been flying fast enough to trigger the camera too, but not pick up the photo, because they're usually by it before it snaps the picture. But the problem is the camera did not take a picture. The motion sensor on the light went off, but the motion sensor on the camera did not trigger. So I don't know what that was. But here's the weird thing. For the next, I would say, 10, 15 minutes, we were on our feet. We had night vision cameras. We had my binos. I've got night vision binoculars. And we had my FLIR camera up, taking pictures, looking around. And we couldn't see anything. So therefore, breeze, right? But we heard stuff walking around us.
It was a ghost Bigfoot.
And the weird part is
Ben said it was a ghost.
it was a ghost.
Yeah, ghost. We talked about those last
we
week.
talked about ghost Bigfoot.
Last week.
But here's the deal. We had we heard stuff walking around. We were hearing a weird sound, and we talked about this last week, I think, about the foghorn sound off in the woods, and it was around us. It wasn't just one. There was a couple we heard from different directions come at us, but we could definitely hear something down the hill in the woods walking around, because it was breaking sticks and stuff. So I don't think ghosts can break sticks. I'm not sure.
This?
What?
This.
Oh, Hannah's seeing stuff. She thinks that's something. Might be.
Bear.
It's a bear. Yeah, there were no bears up there. Thank you.
It looks like something.
So I don't know if you can hear this. I got it turned up all the way, but this is our audio recorder that was going off, that was listening all night. I think it's actually playing.
I think it's not.
It is.
I can't hear it.
That's right. All you hear is like, you can hear the air going. That's it. That's how quiet it was up there all last night. I can't hear, and I got my speakers all the way up. But this is bugging me. So this is what my recorders recorded for that 15, 20 minutes stuff was happening. Oh, please play. Oh.
Is that a video?
Here. There, it's playing. You hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
Hear that?
Shh.
It's like like static. For that full 20 or 15, 20 minutes that stuff was happening, the audio, which was picking up our voices and talking, you heard that earlier when we were talking about it, but when that light went off, the recorder only recorded static for the next 20 minutes. So it went back to playing silent after that. Here's the 20 minutes afterwards. I can kind of hear it. If you listen really close, you can hear I actually heard a mosquito fly by the audio. You can hear the bugs flying, but that was it. But there were bugs. Trust me, there's lots of mosquitoes. So while we were up there looking at stuff, I want to tell you something about FLIR and the FLIR cameras and how they work. This is a photo from my FLIR camera. Now, this was taken earlier. And what it is when the sun's up and the suns are on stuff, it heats up the ground. It heats up trees that you can see the openings in the trees where the sun will hit the trees. So things will turn orange. Other words, things that are warmer than others are white, unless they're really hot. So this is the photo I got that night. So the sun was down. It was cooled off. There was nothing out there that was really super hot. So just remember what I said. Stuff that are white is hot. We got one photo that while I was filming with the FLIR, looking down that hill, and this is the photo I got. And if you look right there, I don't know if this is me just having pareidolia, but we did hear something walking around down there, and I think I got him on the FLIR, but it was far enough away. The further away you get, the less thermal you're going to get, so the camera's just going to see into black. So if you're over, this is probably, I would say 50 yards, maybe further, maybe even 70 or 100. And Scott guessed from that log from our thing, I'm not.
So that would be at least as far as the Bigfoot that you saw a few years ago.
Yeah.
If not further.
If not further. So if you look, I don't know if you see what I see, but
Raptor says that he doesn't have his headphones in, but didn't hear anything on his end. The sound was really hard to hear.
It was really hard to hear. I should have I didn't have time to go back and enhance it, download it up.
Basically, it was wind and static.
And static. So, so this is a closer version. If you look right here, I'll cut it out for you a little bit. But to give you an idea, there's the head, arms, and feet. So the face, the hands, and the feet were showing up hot. Everything else must have been covered in fur. It was walking upright. Let's see if I take that off. You can see the legs kind of goes behind that white thing in the middle is a tree. The black spot in the middle, let's see if the black spot right here is a limb from another tree that's in front of this tree. So this leg is behind that tree. This is a foot. That's a foot. There's a hand there, and I think that's the face.
Ballerina Bigfoot.
Ballerina Bigfoot. He's tiptoeing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got a nice point happening there.
Yep.
And wouldn't that be? I don't know. Okay, if he was going backwards, I could see that because that would be the sole of his foot. But his face, if this is it, his face is turning this way, and then the soles of his feet are up.
Or maybe he's jumping, or.
Well, what I'm saying is that the direction of his, because do they have hair on the tops of their feet?
I don't know. They might not. That could be a thing. But if
you've got hair on the tops of your feet, you wouldn't be able to see the thermal there because you'll be covered with hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But if they don't, so if I took the black point out of this and darkened it to really show the hot spots, you can see what shows up. The feet, the hands, not so much, but you can still see a little white spots right there, and the face definitely.
Or at least part of it.
Part of it. So either we got something, or it's just me imagining things.
I want to know what Scott found when he went back up there. He's been staying up at night wondering that, by the way.
No. No. So this is the original photo here. So yeah, Scott says he was moving, and that's, I think, too. He was absolutely moving. So both feet might have been off the air if he was hopping a log or something.
It still doesn't make sense, because unless their feet are naked, if they got naked feet,
you never know.
If they have hairless feet, then you would be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if his foot was tiptoeing, you would see the sole. And I mean, the sole of his foot is not going to have hair on it, because then you'd lose traction.
Right.
But so, if his face is going this way, the soles of his feet are not going to be going the same way.
Right. So Scott said he was walking. Absolutely. We literally heard him walking around down there, going from our left, headed to the right of us. But he wasn't in no hurry either. You could hear it, walk, step, 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 stop, step, 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 stop. By tree snap, limbs snapping on the ground. Donna asked, how tall do you think he was? From that tree down there where we're looking at here, I'm guessing he's not any taller than I am, probably about 6 feet tall.
So possibly a juvenile doing juvenile things.
Juvenile doing juvenile things. Great possibility. Can I do this? Nope.
I don't know what you're doing.
I am so weirded out about my mouse not showing up over here. So
sorry, guys. Supper.
That was weird.
I know.
Slurpy sounds.
He hates slurpy sounds. He does not. You know what? This guy does not ever finish a milkshake because he doesn't like making
the slurpy sounds.
It's like, I will finish that for you, man.
So I'm going to talk about the next day. The next day we went down there to check things out. The ground was so hard, we weren't leaving footprints, and at all. So That was one thing. But another thing, we were filming, we had left rocks out stacked up to see if anything had messed around with the
We talked about
rocks.
that last week.
We did talk about that last week. I'm going to talk about it again this week. But then something weird happened.
Do we want to tell them that now, or do we want to advertise next weekend?
Let's advertise next weekend, and then I'll tell you the weird thing that happened. So don't forget, folks, next weekend, I need to go to this button here, is we got a little commercial for you.
That was a wordless commercial.
Yes, that was awesome.
Hey, so don't forget, please come out to Baker County next weekend on Friday night, August 11th. We have our VIP dinner with Michael Freeman and Todd Neese, and we want to give a special shout out. We're going to be working on some special things for them, but this festival is sponsored. So exciting. We are sponsored by, we want to thank our sponsors. First of all, Travel Baker County. They were the first organization to jump on board. And also the Ice and House Bed and Brew. They are providing our guests, two of our guests and their families with lodging for the weekend. We're also very proud to announce Lou Brothers Tires, the Les Schwab dealership here in town, as a major sponsor, along with the A-Frame Park, RV Park. And also Paul Sweigert's Country Financial.
Okay.
So very proud to have them jumping on board as sponsors.
Yeah, so you need to get your tickets for the dinner. And if you go to SquatchAmerican.com and click through all the links and find it, or you can just hit this barcode thingy on the screen right now if you want to go back and pause it and do that.
I got to test that, man.
You can get your tickets for the weekend. And we're going to be doing the major talks from everybody. You're going to hear from me, like you hear from me all the time, so that's not a big deal. And you're going to hear from,
it goes to here, goes to the website.
It's not, then they're not seeing you, honey.
Oh, goes to the website.
Okay, so there's that, and you'll hear from Michael Freeman and Todd Neese and Jeremy Scott from Into the Paranormal. If you haven't heard of that, that's kind of like the other late night nationwide talk radio show, like you've heard of Coast to Coast AM. Into the Paranormal is the other one. So it's a nationwide, and he'll be doing a live.
Oh, let's just say it. He's George Norrie's competition.
Yeah, he's George Norrie's competition. So he'll be doing a live show from the stage, actually, during the festival on the 12th. The festival is free. You don't have to buy tickets for that. Come on in. You can talk to Michael at his booth, or me, or Todd, or Jeremy's going to be up on stage doing his live show. And we're going to be doing a town hall meeting. He's going to do a live show with all of us on the air nationwide, right there from that place. And then we're going to have a Bigfoot calling contest and
other stuff.
So a lot of stuff and music.
There will be live music all day long. So come on out. It's going to be fun.
It'll be fun for the whole family.
And it is family friendly. So
yes, it is.
Leave your mood altering substances at home, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So anywho, that's that. I don't know if anything else we want.
What? No, someone said you just clicked at the comments and then didn't go back to them.
Okay.
Patty had hair on her feet when you watched the video all the way around except for the bottom.
Right.
So I'm sorry, that image, I'm not convinced by anything.
Unless the hair on the feet is thinner.
It's just weird.
Like hobbits is. I don't know.
Okay.
So anyway, there's that. Oh, now I got to get back over here. Oh, I got it. All right. So here's the other weird thing that happened to me. Now, Scott filmed this, And this is kind of weird too, but I want to. It sounds like somebody's knocking on our door.
No.
Anyway, this is a weird thing too. Scott videoed this on his iPhone and messaged it to me, so I think that's where it got messed up. So the video's horrible, or it had to do with where I was standing at the moment. And here's the other thing that happened to us the next day when we went down to check the rocks on the logs.
So, it was like, so I just had 3 batteries that were charged. One dead. And I've had one battery. I've had one battery that I've used for 2 days. And then I had 2 charged batteries in my pocket. And all 3 of them just went to stand right where I'm at.
So I've heard about the battery stuff going dead, about batteries going dead and stuff. It had never happened to me, but now it's happened to me. I had one battery that was in my camera that I've been using all weekend, so it was pretty low. And then I had 2 full batteries in my pocket that I had charged just before I went up there because I check them all before we go. And all 3 of them were dead when I stood in this one spot.
You've had that happen before.
Have I?
Yes.
Where?
Because you always complaining about it and shout and holler how the universe hates you because nothing ever works. But it only doesn't work when we're on an investigation.
Yeah, that's weird.
Greetings, Greg from Ida House.
So there's that. Weird. Dale says weird. Yes, it is weird. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is after that, we got down to where our rocks were. And Scott had stacked up these rocks. Now, he had got the rocks from...
They're not seeing it, honey.
I'm almost there.
There we go.
Had got these rocks. He had from the ocean just that day or the day before. I don't remember. Anyway, so he stacked them up on a stump. And this was down where we heard the things walking that night. So the next day we got down there and the rocks had been either knocked off or just taken off and arranged in 3 of them. Threes are a Bigfoot thing that I've heard lots of stories about. So these had been unstacked. Now, this happened. We stacked them back up, and it happened again, but slightly differently the next day. And you're going to have to see our video that drops on Friday for the whole story. But things were moving rocks. And I'm going to tell you, I thought, well, maybe it was a raccoon or maybe it was a squirrel or maybe, I don't know, a bird landed on it and knocked him over. What happened the next night ruled all those out. But there was another thing that happened too. We had another 2-pound on the other log, which I didn't load a photo of those. But on another log, we had like a couple pound big round rock on a log that had been picked up, turned sideways, and set back down. So it was moved. And then something happened to one of these rocks the next night. So that was 2 nights in a row that the rocks had been rearranged, not knocked over. Because I think if something knocked this over, it knocked the whole stack over, but it only took the top 3 rocks and spread them out. So there's that. So weird stuff.
Weird science.
All the electronics messing up, basically, that I couldn't explain. The next day, everything worked fine. during that 20 minutes, my FLIR camera did not record the audio. It was supposed to. It didn't. My other camera did record audio, but it was muffled and horrible. In fact, I can go back here. Let me see. Ooh, got it. Got the mouse back. How did that happen? Okay. It was when we were talking. If you listen to the audio when we were talking, it's not clear. Oh, come on, play.
Well, none of the things are demons running around the woods. Oh, and it's like, why she thinks that, I have no idea. You know, I don't believe they're demonic.
If you hear it, you'll hear a high-pitched squeak in the background.
If they were demonic, there'd be a lot of it going on, and it would be found. It would be more real woo 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 woo. You know, and it's not. You know, it's not.
Emotionally.
There's that sound.
Yeah, see it. Funny, we were just talking.
Okay, I have a new theory.
Okay, Hannah has a new theory.
I think aliens.
Aliens.
Yep. Think you're having an alien encounter because the sound I heard was the same sound that we heard on the recorder itself overnight. It's kind of what it sounded like, which I think were, you know, grass like bug-eyed aliens or something. Yeah.
So Dawn said, we need to go back with more equipment to see if we can duplicate everything. Absolutely. In fact, Scott's on his way back there very soon, actually, to do that. I can't get back there, but Scott, the local investigator dude for us, he is going to go in there, and that would be a good thing to record some audio at night and just to see if you can pick up any weird stuff there, Scott. And he's going to go back and try to get a footprint that was very shallow, and we're going to try to cast it, or he's going to try to cast it. So we did find the first day we were there, we did find, what was it? I forgot the length. It was like 15 inches, I think, footprint. So we did find that. In fact, I think I can find the photo.
That's what bothers me. You don't like slurpy sounds. I don't like do when you're looking for stuff. That's weird.
You're weird.
There, you just passed the pictures. There it is.
That's not it. That's the wrong one.
This is Wendigo Pass.
Yep, this is the one.
Don, I'm sad to hear that it's so hot there. We went through kind of a hot spell when we were down near Scott. It's not too bad today.
Oh, let's see. It is 88 in here right now.
It doesn't feel 88. It's actually kind of comfortable. So while we're waiting for this to load, because
it's a huge file.
We have taken huge technological strides in the paddy wagon. What are you using tonight?
Dale said, "You're killing me, Smalls." Absolutely.
Yeah. What are we using?
20 inches. Scott corrected me. What
are we using to broadcast?
We're using Nomad Internet tonight.
Oh, okay. Who might be coming on board as a sponsor for the festival?
For the festival, we're working on that. Let's see.
That's why I was asking Don if I was asking you guys how your reception was, because we also have the major competitor.
Yeah, we're trying.
We got Squatch X on board now.
Yeah.
So now we have lots of internet options.
So when we're in places we don't have internet, hopefully we can have internet now.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. But speaking of which, if you need internet.
As we travel and search for Bigfoot, we use a lot of equipment that uses the internet to operate. Also, in our town hall meetings and live streams, we need a reliable connection. We use Nomad Internet. There's a link and discount code below, so join us and have internet access on the go.
All
Such a
righty.
cute picture of me there.
So here's the footprint. If you can see well, I can't use my pointer on this one, but that's the
Anyway.
footprint. He's going to go back and try to cast.
Those toes are actually, you know what? I got something. I think it's a hoax.
What?
Because the pinky toe is all the way over there.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
You
is.
made it. No, it's they're. Oh my gosh, my phone! I forgot to put it on. quiet.
Oh, you got. It's got to be a hoax. Clip and say it's a hoax.
Yeah.
Because of the placement of the pinky toe. It's a weird pinky toe.
No.
Or maybe the other ones aren't a hoax.
Oh, maybe they're not a hoax. So there's that. He hopefully Scott can get it done. I got faith in him. Question. Oh, I don't.
Cool. How do you know it's not other people moving the rocks around or animals? Every time I ask this, I get blocked or somebody cancels me or whatever.
Okay, I got to block you. No, just kidding. I would not do that, Raptor. Because
There are no people up there.
there had been a couple people drive by that day, but we had one person, I think, up there earlier, but we saw the cars leave. That's one thing. And another thing, we had, like I said, we had our thermals running, and usually people will show up. But I'm fairly certain it wasn't a person. And there's a reason I'm saying that, because if you watch our Friday video coming up, there were footprints found. I'm just saying that. And they weren't shoes. And we weren't leaving footprints. That's the other thing. You know, I'm 250, 6'3". I was not leaving footprints on that ground. It was dry and it was hard. And something sunk a footprint 2 inches in the ground. So.
Okay. Dale also asks, did the battery go dead in the tree mounted camera?
No, it did not.
Just didn't take any pictures.
It just didn't take any pictures. It's got to be aliens.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's aliens.
Hey, I think
No,
the
just
little. I think that was aliens. So, hey, Kevin, our Canuckian friend.
All right.
And Gordon's on.
Cool. Hi, Gordon. And Scott says, trust me, there was nobody else up there. We could hear cars 3 miles away. Yeah.
I think it's really important to always be a skeptic. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But there's got to come a point where even the greatest skeptic reaches a point and says, all right, you know, it's
I got nothing,
it's
yeah.
Occam's razor. When you've gone through everything that makes sense and none of it fits, then you have to start going to what doesn't make sense. When you've tested all the probables and they don't fit the equation, then you go to the improbable.
Probables. That Occam's
Occam's
razor
razor
thing. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I don't know what caused the equipment to malfunction. That's what's freaking me out. That's what's got me in a quandary. Is
What is that scratching?
That's
noise?
me.
Oh, would you stop it?
I've used these. I'm at my audio recorder. I have used. I don't know. I've had it a couple of years, and I've never had that happen to it. It's the same audio recorder we've used to record at night when we're elsewhere doing other stuff. It was the same audio recorder that I got my weird whoops at night on Mount Emily.
And that was a long time ago. So it's been a reliable recorder.
Uh-huh.
Donna says you know the feeling in the moment. What were your feelings up there?
Oh,
Let's go into the science of the hair on your neck.
well, yeah, the hair on my neck was up. I was a little bit, I don't want to say scared, because I don't get scared because I'm a manly man, but
And does manly things.
but I was on alert. I'll put it this way: there was something freaky. There was a freaky feeling. I mean, I wasn't feeling like, oh my gosh, this is just another Bigfoot encounter. You know, it's happened before, but it was a little freaky. Scott said. Now Scott was with me. He's in the chat. He said, "Oh crap!" was my feelings. Yeah, I was feeling. You know, there was a little thing because there was 3 of us there, but
Lockbeard says hackles were raised.
hackles were raised. Absolutely.
I wonder what Daisy would have been doing.
I don't know.
She's been known to freeze and
Right.
point.
So actually, this recording here, my recorder, the same recorded another Bigfoot thing. Still on repeat. And so, but like I said, it was recording. Here's the weird thing: it was recording fine before
And after.
and after, but there was 15-20 minutes in the middle. It was just fuzz.
And
Yeah.
that sound right there. Do I do that well? He's totally ignoring me.
I am totally ignoring you.
Does this, Ben asks if this area has any history of paranormal activity.
Not that I know of. Scott might know because he's been here. He was in the area longer, but not that I know of. But it is highly Bigfoot area. I mean,
Lots of reports.
Lots of reports. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, Scott found footprints galore. He found basically a nest too, and so this area is frequented by Bigfoot. Well, but there's a lot of Bigfoot in this area. A lot of Bigfoot reports in this area, but not so much. Well, I don't know. Is there alien crap in Crater Lake? For some reason, I think I've heard something off the back of my head.
Yep, as like
There
a
was some
sunken
weird
UFO or something, or
in Crater
a
Lake.
water ship or something.
Just to be honest, Crater Lake's due south of this area. It's not very far away via the map as the crow flies. Takes forever to drive around the mountains to get there, but as the crow flies, it's not too far from Crater Lake.
So, Ben says it reminds him of an area that he's researching.
Cool.
Yeah, Kevin says he was at Crater Lake after Beachfoot. Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
I've yet to go to Crater Lake. Yeah, it sounds like there's another future visit to this area on your schedule. We were going to go back to that area
Yeah.
right after this festival, but guess what? The truck says, no, you're not going anywhere. You're going to attend to my needs.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt having a really good mechanic as a son, and when you let him drive your truck, and then he comes back and he says, we need to fix a bunch of stuff or you're going to break down.
From a drive around the block.
Yeah.
So actually, it's a blessing to have a son like that, because I'd rather take a couple weeks off and not do something and make sure the truck is running right than to, let's say, be on the world's loneliest road and break down in the middle of nowhere.
So I was going to throw up something I need to mention. So this we're having our August 11th and 12th in Baker City. We're going to be at the the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Fest. The August 20th, the Fallen Outdoor Show in Roseburg, Oregon. We are not going to be able to make that one. It is still going on, so if you're in the area, I would please go check out Fallen
Support
Outdoors.
Fallen
Support
Outdoors.
Fallen's Outdoors. They partner with us. We partner with them. We're working on being a whatever they call it. Anyway,
A staffer.
a staffer with them that takes people in the woods looking for Bigfoot. Veterans in the woods. Veterans.
And the difference between a staffer and just a volunteer, which is what we are, is staffers are official representatives of, and there are some. It's not a paid position, but it does cover liability for the people we take out with us.
Yeah.
So that's the important part.
That's the important part. So, but after that, we are going to be at the Pacific Northwest Mining Rally, August 25th through the 27th, in Liberty, Washington. There's an R in that. And then after that, we'll be at September 9th. We'll be at the Bigfoot train excursion again in Elgin, Oregon.
And after that, we have absolutely no idea.
Ta-da.
So, have no idea what we're doing after that. So, if we all go, it's really funny, Kevin, because Todd, we literally on our way to Bi-Mart yesterday, Todd calls me. I don't know why he called me, but he calls us.
Todd Neese
called us, and he started describing what was going on with his truck, and he didn't have 5 words out of his mouth before I knew exactly what was going on with his truck.
Because it's the same thing that's going on.
The same thing that went on with our truck all summer long. We finally fixed it, and so yeah. It is you know.
Yeah, our truck really isn't that big a deal. Well, we have a steering knuckle we got to replace,
ball joints, seals,
and then,
shocks. He did shocks yesterday.
I got to put new seals in my front
brakes.
end. My seals are leaking, so I got a little bit to do. But luckily,
brakes all the way around.
Yeah, but luckily, I said I have. My son is a certified official diesel mechanic, so that's what he does. So we're gonna take it over there and fix him up. He's gonna fix me up.
Liability, it has to do. The liability thing has to do with the legalities of taking people on expeditions on national forest land and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's liability. So in case a veteran gets injured, we aren't responsible for it. So there are some big, as a company, if we take people out, we are legally liable if something happens. And so if we're formal staffers with Fallen Outdoors, it's their insurance that covers that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because the government, in order to take people in the woods or camping with you, you have to have, if you're on national forest land, one, you have to get a permit explaining how many people are going to have in the woods with you.
What kind of environmental impact it's going to have.
Yep. And you got to have liability insurance and an outfitter's license.
So, but
welcome to government, isn't it?
But partnering with the Fallen Outdoors would take care of
all that with us.
So anyway, and if anyone asks why we don't do big BFRO type of expeditions, even though we would love to do that, that is part of the issue. Is like there are so many technicalities to go through, and quite frankly, we don't have. It's insane. Anyway. Yes, and it's true. If we would just go back to horses, but then you have to feed them and clean up their poopies. Take them to the vet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I keep hearing weird stuff.
I know I'm hearing weird stuff too.
So maybe the ghost Bigfoot followed us back.
I don't know. I do know I left my laptop outside on the picnic table. I hope it's still there when we get done.
Yeah, Flat Rock says same if you bring people on your property for something goes bad, you're covered. So that's it. Yeah.
She's Bigfoot. Yeah, you shoot the horse by a new one. I don't know. You know what? I have seen some horses that are pretty spendy.
Yeah. Bigfoot ghosts. Janice, we've actually discussed that possibility.
Nice. That's pareidolia.
That's
I don't know. I think that's something. I really do. I think
Hannah keeps seeing something.
I think that's something. I don't know what, but that looks like something to me. That's not your laser pointer.
That's not my laser pointer. I can even do this. Hannah keeps saying she's seeing something here. Look at that. I circled it.
Yep. I see eyes and nose. Honestly, I see a bear.
I see pareidolia. It's just the tree limbs.
I don't know.
So, anyway.
That's what we got for you tonight, folks.
Yeah. So,
did you come to Jesus through this?
No, I did not. I am going to try to figure out what drains batteries in the woods.
Okay. We're going to go visit Jesus. Actually, after the September stuff, we're going to go visit Jesus in New Mexico.
Yep. You know Jesus lives in New Mexico?
Yeah.
All right. No, actually, we're going to go out with our friend Jesus Payan, who's a Bigfooter in New Mexico. And yes, he goes by Jesus, not Jesus. So,
all right.
Any other thoughts of what would drain my batteries and make my audio recorder stop audio recording for 20 minutes and just have static and then come back?
Aliens. We need the guy with the curly hair.
Yeah.
I never can remember his name. The ancient aliens.
The ancient aliens, dude. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I saw Squatch there, Logbait. I said I see something. I see something. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, hey, go to our slide. It's time.
What?
It's time to say goodbye.
Oh, isn't there a song?
Farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. All right.
So,
do batteries only drain your batteries at certain? Or always in the woods?
It's always in the woods. I mean, we go out and shoot stuff all the time with this very camera I had, just one we use for our YouTube channel. So when we're recording stuff, my battery usually lasts as long as my card does.
Mm-hmm.
So when the card gets full, and I have a 123 gig card, I think that's what it is, 129. I don't know the number. Anyway, so it'll usually last the whole card before the card gets full. But this time I had used the battery for like a day and a half. It was getting towards the end, but I had 2 full batteries that I had charged in my pocket. And when I went to change the batteries, the other 2 batteries both were dead. 2.
Michelle calls it the Bigfoot triangle.
The Bigfoot triangle.
Maybe they have vortex energy themselves.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they create a vortex as they transport themselves through the dimensions.
Oh, so he said only in certain woods, not all places in the woods. Now that's interesting because we were standing in the spot where I think we got that thermal video picture of that Bigfoot. We're in the same area where that Bigfoot was messing with the rocks, where we think I got the thermal shot of it. I was standing in that spot.
Kevin Morrison, does infrasound affect power?
I'm going to have to Bill Nye the Science Guy that and see. We'll look up we got some knowledge of mankind.
I can't. So. Yeah, I got some knowledge of mankind and fat thumbs. Does infrasound affect electricity? Scott doesn't want to say goodnight. This is his normal thing. The negative effects of high-level infrasound on human myocardial something. Infrasound. What are you doing?
Oh, Scott just sent me that video again, and it's still the same. It's still kind of crappy.
Airborne infrasound is ubiquitous in technological, okay, health habit. It doesn't have anything. It talks about infrasound and how it impacts the human body, but our bodies are powered by electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And it impacts our natural electrical impulses. So it's possible. Tri-field meter, I don't know what that is.
I do, and I actually have one. So that's I'm going to be adding that to my arsenal.
Okay.
I mean, we used to, back in the day, we used to do some ghost hunting. So I do have all that ghost hunting stuff. So I do have the tri-field meter. So I'm going to get that. I'll bring that with me.
Okay.
Should I bring my EVP recorder too?
Yes.
So,
And maybe Brad and Mandy will talk to us again.
yeah.
That's another story for another time. But it is now 1 minute after 6. It is really time to go for reals.
So anyway, we will throw it back, and I think you can actually get tri-field meters or at least magnetometers on your phone. Your phone's antenna is actually a magnetometer. What's the word I'm looking?
I don't know. I don't know what that word is at all.
So if you need an EMF detector, you can actually just download an app. You can get it on your phone. Your antenna on your phone is actually an EMF reader. So that's how that works.
Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Yes, Locke, you and I do see eye to eye on that.
Yeah.
You didn't finish the comment. There's possibly a way infrasound could affect power, but I would need some. Well, I think it's worth looking at.
Yeah,
sure.
it's worth looking at.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm with Michelle, Electric Eels. That's
and
it.
Thanks, Raptor. We like having a good show, even though we usually get on these things. We have absolutely no idea what's going on.
It's a weird. So, like I said, today is some weird stuff. Next week is.
Donna wants to talk about this coming Friday's video next week.
Okay.
We can have a follow-up.
We'll have a follow-up. And if Todd's here, we can have him come in.
I think they're leaving, but who knows? They might stay longer. I don't know.
No, next week. Is Todd here the 9th? When is the next show?
The next show is on the the 9th. Yes, they are. Ooh, we might have Todd Neese with us next week.
So we'll have Todd talk about it with us if we can. Okay. So anyway,
go to the card.
Go to the card. Oh my gosh! I'm
He
almost
never
there.
knows when to go. Right there.
Okay.
As always, remember our job is to investigate and formulate wildly crazy hypotheses about the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until then, you guys keep watching and
we'll keep squatching.
Bye.
Go out and find Bigfoot, my friends.